kids, now we're cooking. Welcome to our 4th of July week. We're having such a good time here in our kitchen. My name is Aunt Annie.
I'm Grandma Jayne.
And we are having such a great time because 4th of July is such a wonderful celebration. Earlier in an episode, we challenged you kids to figure out, without using your calculator or your phones, how old our nation is. Our great nation, my nephew has calculated, is how old?
244.
244 years old. Oh, my aching back. Now that, Well, but what's so funny though, kids, is as countries go, we're like a baby. 244 years old is not even a drop in the ocean. Lots and lots of countries are much older than we are. So believe it or not, 244 is really young, okay? And in our celebration of the 4th of July, we are going to feature some states in the South. We got to start with there, and then in future episodes, we'll try to feature all the 50 United States at some part. We started, if you'll recall, making some brownies, and we're going to finish those up at the last episode as a kind of huge celebration for all of the United States. Then we went on to Texas as our first state feature, our Lone Star state. Great state, second biggest in area and population, and we had Jayne take the lead on that, and she's got some excellent looking boneless ribs in the oven with her wonderful marinade on it she told you about. 10 pounds are in that oven right now on 350, along with some baked beans she made, because she said the same ingredients seem to overlap in some of those. So they are in the oven as well with the ribs. We'll be looking forward to those later. Well, now we're going to make our way east, and in my kitchen, east is this direction, okay? So if we were in Texas, now we're going to make our way east, and we're going to move on to the great state of Mississippi. Mississippi. Boy, would we miss Mississippi.
Yeah.
Okay, so in honor of Mississippi, and believe it or not, when we looked it up, because I didn't know this one off the top of my head, Mississippi is the Magnolia State. And Jayne and I love that because we were the Steel Magnolias.
Yes.
So anyway, we were surprised. Jayne, tell them where we thought they were from.
Well, Louisiana.
We thought Magnolia had to be Louisiana
because
that's
Steel Magnolias was, from down there. So.
Yeah, that was in the Chickapin Parish.
Yes.
It's Louisiana. So anyway, we're going to start from Mississippi here. We're going to make Paula Dean's, and I don't know if I'll do it any justice, her Mississippi mud pie. And again, in honor of Paula Dean, I'm using her spatula that says butter, y'all. Okay, so we're going to start with 2 cups of sugar and put it in a large bowl. I already had it measured out there, okay? Then I'm going to put half a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm just going to kind of fudge. Okay, 2 cups of flour. I've got a cup in each of these measuring, and I'm going to leave one of those out for Grandma Jayne because I'm going to ask her to help me with this,
Okay.
if she'd be so kind. Now we're going to put those dry ingredients aside till later, okay? Now in a saucepan, I'm going to ask Grandma Jayne to put 1 stick of butter, and we're going to want all of this melted, and then bring it to a boil, if you would, Jayne.
Okay.
So she's going to put 1 stick of butter, which we know is half a cup. And to that, she's going to add half a cup of salad oil or vegetable oil. And that's right here for you, Jayne, as soon as you're ready for it.
Yeah, the paper was sticking on there.
Well, for heaven's sakes.
I know. So put this in there with
Half
it
a
too?
cup of salad oil, yes.
Oops. Got the wrong one on here.
And then we're going to need a half a cup of cocoa. So I'll let you spoon that in here in one of your handy dandy measuring things to half a cup. And then I'm going to get you also a 1/4 a cup of water. And a 1/4 a cup of water will join those other ingredients. So again, to replay them, we've got a stick of butter, which is half a cup of butter. We've got a half a cup of salad oil or vegetable oil. Half a cup of unsweetened cocoa is going to go in there. And then we're going to put 1/4 cup of water. Now Jayne is going to stir that and eventually bring it to a boil. Okay?
Try to get it going a little hotter here. There you go.
In a separate bowl then, I'm going to beat 2 eggs. A teaspoon of baking soda, which I think we have up here. Yes, we need a teaspoon of soda. This is 1/2 of a tablespoon. We don't want that. I thought I already had it out. I do.
Yeah, a little one.
So I've got 1/2 a teaspoon here, so I'm going to do it twice. Because we need a full teaspoon, okay? And 2 to 3 teaspoons of vanilla after we put in 1/2 a cup of buttermilk. Okay? How many ounces are in a cup?
Anybody?
Anyone?
8?
How many cups are in a pint?
Isn't it 8? I mean, not in a pint.
8
but-
for a cup?
Yeah.
Okay, how many cups are in a pint?
8. No, I don't know.
Aren't there 2 cups in a pint?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's 16.
Okay, 2 cups in a pint. Therefore, 1/2 a pint is
1 cup.
1 cup.
Cup, yeah.
And this particular recipe calls for 1/2 a cup.
Did you want this to boil?
Yes,
Okay, it's almost gonna be there.
yes, I'm almost sure that there are 2 cups in a pint. And 4 pints in a quart.
Yeah. And then isn't that 4 quarts in a gallon?
Yes. So 1/2 a cup of buttermilk.
I'm all around chocolate all day.
And you're going to want to check the dates of your buttermilk too, or smell it too, to make sure that it's still good. Now I'm going to put in my 2 to 3 teaspoons of vanilla.
How much should it boil? Just start to boil, Annie?
Yep. Okay, I'm going to start with 2 teaspoons. I might add more. Get rid of what we don't need here. Okay, I'm going to start, and watch out behind you, Jayne. I do
Okay.
have the cord of this.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to beat this, the egg mixture here, with the 2 eggs, the teaspoon of soda, 1/2 a cup of buttermilk, and 2 to 3 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm sure I'll end up adding that other teaspoon because I really like vanilla. So once that's boiling, Jayne,
Going it over here.
once that's boiling, you can add it to this dry mixture.
You think you're done with that?
Nope, I'm gonna have to mix this in.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put this egg mixture in with what was boiling in the saucepan. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little more
Vanilla?
okay. How's it looking so far?
Good.
And I'm gonna beat this baby. Mmm.
Smells good. I'm getting my chocolate fix today. This is a new recipe for you, isn't it?
Sure is. Jane, would you be kind enough to go ahead and slip under here and wash that bowl I just used?
Sure.
Oops. Danger, Will Robinson, we lost our power. Here we haven't made chocolate at all, and now we've got chocolate brownies and Mississippi mud pie. You can tell I was largely in charge of the recipes for a couple of these states because I'm a chocoholic. I can't hardly have enough chocolate in anything. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and transfer this into a greased, and I went ahead and put a little flour in it as well, baking dish, 9 by 13. I can see why they call it mud. Sure looks like mud, doesn't it?
Look at this. They're stuck. This little thing's stuck inside there. There's a way to get those apart. What is it, Annie?
Well, we'll come with it.
Is it cold water?
I don't know.
That's just weird. I'll let soap in there and see
I
if
would
that
think
helps.
soap could hurt.
Soap. Yeah.
That's how you get rings off your fingers if they're
Yeah. Make them shrink or something.
slippery.
Slippery. Try it. Really cold water though, usually, and soap. That is just weird.
Not to worry, we'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm watching that timer. This goes in, as I said, for 25 minutes. That timer's at 30 right now, so I'm going to put it in when it hits 25. This is what you call real multitasking here. Does anybody want to lick that bowl? Okay. It's going to be delicious. After it's baked, we're going to let it cool a little bit, but I want to get the frosting ready. And what I need is 6 tablespoons of milk, okay, get out our milk. I'm going to do a little testing on you here. Okay. We need the recipe calls for a box of powdered sugar.
Yeah, but we couldn't even find a box.
We couldn't find a box, so I'm just gonna start with this and then maybe add a little bit more.
Yeah.
We had this left over from a bag. I'm thinking a box used to be, what, 16 ounces maybe at the most?
Maybe, yeah, yeah.
Can't imagine it being more than that.
I was surprised we couldn't find them anymore. I don't usually buy them, but I thought they'd be for people, older people.
I don't
maybe,
think I've ever seen a box.
Yeah.
Okay, then we need 6 tablespoons of milk and 3 tablespoons of cocoa. Yay, I can actually see. Okay, cocoa.
Oh, I put it somewhere. Right
There it is. Okay, would you want to measure me out 3 tablespoons?
Sure.
3 of those little babies.
Should probably go.
Level it. And in the microwave, since Janie's close too, I'm gonna have her melt this stick of butter for me. Now this is gonna need 6 tablespoons of milk. I'm gonna see if you remember an earlier episode. How many tablespoons are in a quarter of a cup? Anyone? Anyone remember? 4. So 4 of the 6 are gonna be a quarter of a cup, okay? So I'm gonna put 4 of the 6 here. So if 4 is a quarter of a cup, how many would 2 more be? What's half of a fourth? 1/8 of a cup. Very good. So I'm just going to do about half of this because I'm not going to bother getting out a quarter cup, or 1/8 of a cup rather. But you see, instead of doing 6 tablespoons, how you can use your mathematics to use different cups in the. I'm going to wash off my beaters. I come there, Graham Jane.
Got her done. I was going to tell you a little tip too, is to always put like a paper towel or wax paper or something over whatever you guys do it. Otherwise your microwave will get just
Everything
trash.
splatters.
I used to clean houses, and I cleaned this one gal, and they had spaghetti like all the time, and the sauce,
yeah.
it was like red microwaved on sauce everywhere.
I
It was
remember
like-
Mom always yelling at me as a kid because I wouldn't cover my spaghetti in the microwave.
Yeah. It doesn't, it just gets on there, you gotta scrape it, and it just
She
prevents a
gets
hassle.
so mad at me.
They also
And now
have.
I have my own house. Now I get mad if Josh doesn't.
Yeah.
They also have like trays you can put on to cover. I know a good friend of mine has that. So in case I need a little more milk, I'm gonna leave that pretty close by.
But I remember I spent most of my time cleaning that lady's microwave out than I did her house. It was crazy.
I'm bad about cleaning my microwave too. I
Oh, yeah?
should do it more than I do. It's
I'll
something
leave it
that
to
I
look
don't
like
really
you.
think about it because
Yeah.
it's closed. You can't
Uh-huh.
see it.
True, yeah. And then I'm always like, oh my gosh, I had that
Yeah.
in there, you know?
Okay. We want to tell our viewers that we've had some trouble uploading. A
Yeah.
lot of our episodes from the last couple of weeks are going to come on kind of untimely once they're finally aired. For instance, we know that Father's Day has already passed us.
I'm doing
so-
my best.
Yeah.
But-
Are they any come on there yet? Are they?
I'm working on putting one on right now,
All right.
actually.
We've just had some
Time-consuming.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, but we think we've got it figured out, right?
Yes.
Because thank God for Megan does. So, we're anxious to have you guys watch them.
Every time I think I'm closer, something else sets me back. I don't
Huh.
understand.
Well, we appreciate the younger generation.
Yeah, definitely.
There are some our age that really have this tech stuff figured out. I am not one of them.
Yeah, I
But
used to keep up,
But I do have friends older than I that do a wonderful job. So it has nothing to do with age. I think it has to do with your willingness to learn, because you're never too old to learn, and taking the time and the patience to do it.
and there's just so many apps now and so much to each app. It's just like, oh, I give up.
Yeah.
I learn what I have to learn for work, and that's about it.
Oh, kids, I have made now the frosting. That's going to go on the Mississippi mud pie. But what's going to happen is, I'm down to 23, so I'm going to stick this in.
Okay.
Jane's going to be kind enough to open the door.
I can smell those beans.
And then again, that goes in for 25 minutes. And hopefully it won't tastes like baked beans. So I'm
It's
gonna
right next to the beans.
I'm gonna put this aside over here
Okay.
on the counter because we're gonna need it later.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do to finish up that Mississippi mud pie is, Paula says in her recipe,
You want that put away?
sure, thank you. Paula says in her recipe that you take out the brown or the cakey mixture and let it cool some, but not completely. Then we're gonna put a bag of mini marshmallows on top of that warm cake, and then we're gonna put on that yummy chocolatey stuff, and we're gonna put some pecans on, at least part of it, because some people love pecans.
Yum.
You can leave that off, that's
Right.
optional, but pecans would be delicious with this. So that's where we're gonna end this episode for now, but just like some of our other episodes, where we finish one off maybe at the end of another one, that's what we're gonna do. While the cake is in the Mississippi mud pie, shall we say, is in the oven baking, we're gonna go ahead and sign off and move on to our next state. And Jayne, what would you say in signing off?
Oh, I just say have fun with whatever you can have fun with this summer, you know, and be safe though. And watch out for each other, love each other. We love you.
And don't only just celebrate the United States this week. Celebrate life. Celebrate the people that are so important to you in your life. Celebrate your good health. Celebrate all of the bountiful blessings you have, because we all have too many to even count. Okay, so don't just celebrate the United States, which is one of our wonderful blessings, but celebrate all the wonderful things we have to be thankful for, okay? So hopefully we'll see you next time on Now We're Cooking.